This is April Schulthies, using the computer to generate this message. Here is a secret that secret societies don't want you to know. They pretend to be God. They can use hypnosis and astral plane attack to impersonate God. How do you know if you're hearing from God? God doesn't talk to you. God will answer prayers with life and blessing, but God does not argue with you all day. In an earlier video, I talked about things God doesn't do, and gave an example of when someone pretended to be the Lord on the astral plane to coerce me into watching an R-rated movie. God will not make you watch an R-rated movie, and God will not encourage you to pursue a romance, or think about marriage all day. Those are not things God lures you into. God's word tells us not to even lust, and God will definitely not tell you to commit fornication or adultery, but humans will. In fact, if humans don't get what they want by trickery and deceit, they will use coercion, and they never stop, never. They will take your life, and just laugh, like it was a joke. Here's another thing God doesn't do. God doesn't take things from you. God gives you everything, including the air you breathe. God left witness of himself, that he is good. Acts 14:17 says, "Nevertheless he did not leave himself without witness, in that he did good, gave us rain from heaven and fruitful seasons, filling our hearts with food and gladness." God does not take, he gives. God is a giver, but humans take. Let me tell you what astral plane assailants did to me. They did it to me by pretending to be the Lord on the astral plane. This is one example of many, but for the purposes of this discussion, I am including this one example. A person impersonating the Lord made me give away all my business jackets, and I only managed to keep one by fighting with him. He had contradicted himself over this jacket and made me buy it originally right before it went on sale. Now, God would know if something was going on sale. He wouldn't force you to buy something right before it went on sale. And then, later, he would not insist you give it away. So I refused to give that one jacket away. The Lord told me that I wouldn't need the business jackets anymore. But right after that, business jackets were exactly what I needed, and I didn't have them anymore. But it did not stop there. These people are voracious, and they are vicious. They have no limits. At work, the hostility and bullying had become so bad, I was literally scared, and I was receiving death threats from people at work. During this time, the Lord told me to give away my best clothes. He made me give away everything that was of higher quality. He muttered some mumbo-jumbo about being a blessing to others before I could be blessed. I complied. I gave away my best clothes. This was not enough, though. Then the Lord wanted everything else I had that was wearable. I told the Lord I could not run around without clothes. I had to have something to wear. How could he be telling me to run around with nothing to wear? That was breaking all rules of modesty. I pointed out I had to have clothes, and I utterly refused to give away the rest. These people will never stop. Once they succeed in ripping you off, they will keep coming. You will never be blessed. Instead, everything will get worse. If you comply, you will not only find there is no blessing, but you are going to be cursed more. It was utterly absurd for me to have zero clothing at all. I mean, zero. The person pretending to be the Lord on the astral plane had no regard for my welfare at all, and no limits at all to what harm he would cause me. So I refused to comply. It's a good thing, too, because these people had plans to take everything from me before murdering me. They even joked they were enjoying an estate sale while I was still alive, and yet they didn't have to pay anything. They were getting it for free. These people are part of secret societies, and they know how to steal, kill, and destroy. This is Rome. We're still dealing with Herod in Rome, and Rome likes to make humans into gods. Rome invaded Native America, and forced indigenous peoples into slavery, and practiced genocide against the native tribes. And Rome is supported by secret societies, and their secret is hypnosis. Rome is ruthless. Native American peoples have suffered under Rome through widespread elimination and assimilation. Genocide is always wrong, always. I grew up in the Graeagle, California area. I was told the indigenous peoples simply moved on when the railroad came to Portola. Now I'm sure the truth is something awful. Be warned, the realm of thought is real. Fight back. Practice psychic self-defense. Do not have sex. Do not eat meat. Read the Bible. Respect all life. The scriptures say, "Oh, let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end, but establish the just, for the righteous God tries the hearts and reins." My defense is of God, which saves the upright in heart.